Next topic is Silk Route link the world. So Silk Route plays an important role. So let us find out where is the Silk Route located. The Silk Route are a good example of vibrant pre-modern trade and cultural link between the distant part of the world. So the Silk Route is the mark or the medium through which many pre-modern trade was taken place, and even the cultures was interlinked between the different parts of the world. The name Silk Route points to the importance of westbound Chinese silk courtiers along this route. So the meaning of Silk Route is that it points out that the importance of the famous silk which is found in the westbound China, okay, which is known as silk gorget, that is goods carried on a ship. So with the help of this Silk Route, the Chinese famous silk was transported in the ship to different parts of the world. And during those period, Chinese silk was very expensive. Historians have identified several silk routes over land and by sea, knitting together vast region of Asia and linking Asia with Europe and northern Africa. So the historians, they have identified that several silk routes have been made over the land as well as by the sea, thus interlinking the Asia with the other parts of the world, that is with the Europe and northern Africa. They are known to have existed since before the Christian era and thrived, that is grow or develop well, almost till the 15th century. So it is said that this Silk Route was you can say present before the Jesus Christ was born, okay, and it plays an important role, okay, and it grew with the time as this route was used for the trade from one country to the another during the 15th century. But Chinese pottery also traveled the same route as did textile and spices from India and Southeast Asia. So not only the silk but the Chinese pottery also travel, or they were spread with the help of these same route, that is the Silk Route. Even the different types of textile and spices which are grown in India, they were you can say spread through the Silk Route, okay, and to the Southeast Asia. In return, precious metal, gold and silver flowed from Europe to Asia. So in return, different types of precious stone, that is gold and silver, also reach our Asia from the European countries. Trade and cultural exchange always went hand in hand. So with the help of the Silk Route, trade and cultural exchange plays an important role. Early Christian missionaries almost certainly traveled this route to Asia, as did early Muslim preachers a few centuries later. So not only the Chinese people or the Indian people or the European people, they have used this Silk Route. Before that, the Christian missionaries also use this route so that they can travel to Asia and explore the Asian continent. And even the Muslim preachers, they travel this route in order to explore the world. Much before all this, Buddhism emerged from eastern India and spread in several directions through intersecting point on Silk Route. So not only the different types of spices, textile or these precious stones or silk was exchanged from one country to the another, even the culture also, that is the religion also spread from one country to the another. The famous example is the Buddhism. It emerged in the eastern part of India and spread in several parts of the world with the help of Silk Route. So this is the importance about the Silk Route. And in this picture, in the page number 78, Silk Route trade as depicted in a Chinese cave painting, 8th century cave, 217 Mangyo Gortios, Gansu, China. So this is a painting which is present in the China, okay, and this is the painting of a Silk Route where the trade was taking place. So as you can see, different types of horses are there, okay, and they used to follow this route so that they can do trade system from one country to the another. So the given Chinese, that means the main theme of this painting is that it signifies the silk route trade from one country to the another. Next is food travel, that is spaghetti and potato. Not only the silk or precious stones or textile or different religions was travel from one country to the another, even the famous food which we eat today, the spaghetti and potato, both are also travel from with the help of silk route. Okay, and it not only travel in India but in the various parts of the world. Food offers many examples of long distance cultural exchange. So with the help of food we can finally get to know that there is a cultural exchange with the other country, because if one person have to go or travel from one place to the another place, they need food to carry with them. So we can say that food was also exchanged with the other countries. Traders and travelers introduce new crops to the land they travel. So the traders and travelers who travel from one place to the another, or who wants to do business from one country to the another country, they introduce new crops or new food to the land which they travel. Even ready food stuff in distinct part of the world might share common origin. So even the packet food which we eat today, they also plays an important role. Why they are come in the packet form or food stuff, that is ready-made foods. Okay, these also plays an important role. Take spaghetti and noodles. It is believed that noodles travel west from China to become spaghetti. So it is believed that the spaghetti and noodles, it also travel from one country to the another, and it is said that the noodles which were used in the China in the form which they eat, when it travel from west, when this noodle travel west from the China, it known as the spaghetti. That means every new place or every new culture, they try to develop or they try to make the food different from each other. So that's why when noodles travel from west to China, it becomes spaghetti. Or perhaps Arab traders took pasta to 5th century Sicily and Iceland, now in Italy. So it is believed that Arab travelers or traders who took the pasta to the 5th century Sicily in an Iceland which is in the Italy. So it is the Arab who had taken or who had introduced the pasta in the Italy. Similar foods were also known in India and Japan, so the truth about their origin may never be known. So we don't know which food belongs to which country, because we don't know the basic origin where it was originated, because the food also travel from one country to the another, just like the culture and different types of precious metals. Yet such guesswork suggests the possibilities of long distance cultural contact even in the pre-modern world. So it is believed that with the help of the traders who travel from one country to the other country, different types of culture was exchanged, different types of even the food was exchanged, so everything was interlinked with each other. Many of our common foods such as potatoes, soya, groundnuts, maize, tomatoes, chilies, sweet potatoes, and so on were not known to our ancestors until about 5 centuries ago. So it is believed that different types of common food which we use today, they were not known to our ancestor, that is 5 centuries ago, because during those time there was no trade. They were just living so that they can live their life peacefully so that they can live their life peacefully. But once the trade system established, when the civilization was establishing in a rapid way, then they understand the importance of trade system. These food were only introduced in Europe and Asia after Christopher Columbus accidentally discovered the vast continent that would later become known as the Americas. So these foods were introduced in Europe and Asia. How? When the Christopher Columbus, he accidentally discovered the vast continent which is at present known as America. Okay, so hence the different types of foods were introduced in the Europe and Asia because of the Christopher Columbus. Here is the picture in page number 78. this is the merchants from Venice, which is in Italy, and the Orient, that is East and West trade, exchanging goods from Marco Polo, Book of Marbles, 15th century. So in this picture you can see that there is the exchange of goods between the east and western part of a country, and it is a place in the Italy. Okay, merchant from Italy, they came here and they are trying to do the you can say exchanging the goods. During those time there was no currency, so hence they were exchanging in the form of barter system. So in this picture you can say that the main theme of this picture is it signifies trade between east and west through sea route. Write it down in your book so that later on you will remember the theme of the pictures. Here we will use America to describe North America, South America and Caribbean. In fact, many of our common food came from America's original inhabitant, the American Indians. So even many of the food which we eat today, it is the food which have been originate in the Americas and which is known as the American Indians, who migrated from America and they settled down in India. Sometimes the new crops could make the difference between life and death. Europe's poor began to eat better and live longer with the introduction of the humble potato. So sometimes new crops, it can create a difference between either they can give life to the people or death, because every peoples, they don't know the importance of food, right? So even in the Europe's poor people, they started to eat better and live longer with the introduction of the most famous food, that is the potato. Ireland's poorest peasants became so dependent on potatoes that when disease destroyed the potato crop in the mid 1840s, hundreds of thousands died of starvation. So with the introduction of potatoes, many people were so, you can say, used, or so they were so used to eat the potatoes. So in the Ireland country, the poorest peasant, they were so dependent on the potatoes that when some disease was spread in the Ireland, and due to which it destroyed the potato crop in the mid 1840s, hundreds of thousands of people died due to starvation. That means they don't have the proper amount of potatoes so that they can eat or they can satisfy their you can say satisfy their hunger. So here is a picture in the page number 79, the Irish potato famine. So this is a picture in which it shows the shortage of potatoes in the 1840s in the Ireland. Illustrate London News 1848. So this picture came in the London News in 1848. Hungry children digging for potatoes in a field that has already been harvested, hoping to discover some leftover. So hungry children, they are digging for potatoes in the field so that they can get a small or at least one or two leftovers of potato, and they can satisfy their hunger because they are starving. During the Great Irish Potato Famine, that is 1845 to 1849, around 10 lakh people died of starvation in Ireland, and double the number immigrated in search of food. So as there was a shortage of potato in the Ireland, 10 lakh people, they died of starvation in the Ireland, and double, that is 20 lakh people, they migrated from the Ireland to other part of the world so that they can get work. So this is the, you can say, significance of this picture.